welcome to MRW News Show. This is a news show every week on either Saturday or Sunday, and today's Sunday. We are inside a mooring today because of the internet has been playing up inside the Austin. So we are inside a mooring. Sorry about the back. We've haven't had time to tidy. We have been extremely busy, and when you're extremely busy, you tend to not have time to make everything so clean, do you? Mm-hmm. We've got some very interesting stories today and some very big debates. The main one we're debating is slow drivers, if you think slow drivers are dangerous or not. So do you think it's a good or a bad thing? But for starters, we're going to start talking about what I have been doing this weekend, because I have been with some very, very exciting people, because I have been at Morecambe Poetry Festival. I have, because I got asked to go and do interviews. So it's for many things. So I got to interview some very, very big names. So I think some of you already know some of the people I've interviewed because I've advertised it. So for starters, this morning I interviewed Nigel Planer.
Oh, Nigel Planer, what an absolute legend he is.
Now, we all know who Nigel is. There's Nigel. It's Nigel Planer. He was part of the Young Ones. He did the comedy strip. He did so many different things. His own theatre
Lord
productions.
Smedley on Blackadder.
Yes. And he's also been performing at the Poetry Festival. He performed yesterday. Yes. He performed yesterday. And he was brilliant. He talked about so many behind the scenes of the show, didn't he? The Young Ones. He talked about very interesting subjects. You know, he was very funny, because I know he's a funny person, but he was funny when I interviewed him.
And he played Mandelson, didn't he?
Yes, which obviously Mandelson has been in the news lately.
Quite lately, yes. You'll see on my channel, which I'll put the link down, please all follow it.
Yes, I've always been talking about it, and he did touch on that as well. So that'll be interesting, because of him. I didn't know whether to ask or not, but he touched it on himself a little bit. But so you have to see that all inside the interview, which will be coming soon. I also interviewed Claire Ferguson Walker. So
she's a bit of a star, isn't she?
She was hilarious. She really, really was, and she was great, and she was really, really was genuinely nice. I mean, both of them were. I mean, pretty much everybody, majority of the time I interviewed do. But she was just so nice, wasn't she? I know I'm just saying it over and over again, but I'm seriously, she really, really was, and really funny.
Oh, she was. Yeah, you got on really well.
And she also did a poem as well. She read us a poem, and then also yesterday I also met Edward Tripp. Now. Ed Tripp, I can't decide which one it is, to be honest.
I think it's a bit of both.
Well, he said Ed, but then on his book he says Edward, so I'm I'm confused. But anyway, he was honestly, I got to see him perform live, so I knew he was coming, but I didn't know because I didn't see him around. But I went away for a bit and came back to the venue, and I walked in and he had this book and it was on fire. Didn't it?
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. And I really
actually on fire.
Actually on fire. So I just watched, because there was this separate area where I was going to interview people, and then there was a stage. So I just walked in, pottering along, thinking, somebody's on. I looked at my car what? And the book was on fire. So I was like, I think I'd like to interview him. And then we basically got to see about 3 of his poems, or I think 4 of his poems we got to see him perform. And honestly, he was just brilliant, wasn't he? He really, really was, because of his poems were superb, because they all had such a great ending, but also the way he performed them was real, didn't he?
Oh yeah, it was absolutely amazing. He's just on fire. He was his book.
And after he came,
it was just. Well, this is a little clip of him here.
After he came off,
so wild.
After he came off stage, he had sweat, didn't he?
Oh, he was
completely pouring in sweat. So this is a little clip. I don't know which one it is.
As a roller coaster of living dice, I dance with you one final time. It seems our love did have a price. That price was £10.99. Thank you very much.
We didn't get a good bit on there.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's better than that.
A ready-made poem can be like ready-made art. It's declared to be art because it's presented in a creative setting. A ready-made poem can be anything. It can be an overheard conversation on the bus. It can be a recipe in a book. This ready-made poem happened to me in Tesco's. The checkout assistant was scanning into the bins with myself.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's probably not the best bit, to be fair, but honestly,
oh, it's really good.
He is.
And he was really lively.
I think we just clicked the wrong bit.
He
there,
was all
but
over the bit.
He was
all over the place.
He was
wasn't
even like he had like run-ups and everything, and he was like really got into it as a facial expression. That honestly was not the best bit. But if you go onto my mother's account, she's posted full of it. And I will be posting. I've posted a clip of my interview as well because he read a poem inside my interview. But his poem was absolutely hilarious when he read it into.
Yeah,
when he performed it, because he didn't read it, he knew it in his mind. But it was absolutely hilarious.
Well, what happened was, it was so funny, and you'll see it. Matilda's put it on her account. We were right next to where they were performing, and he'd come off and he was absolutely pouring in sweat because, as I say, you'll see it on the video, he works his backside off, basically. He's not just a poet, he's an actual performer, he's an entertainer, and he's absolutely brilliant. So he's sort of like on a high. We grabbed him straight away as soon as he'd come off. There were book signings, it was manic,
You probably
basically.
wouldn't have said yes if it wasn't for that to me so delusional. I didn't go off stage. No, he was.
She turns around and she said, he says, could you do a poem? So he did. But he says, oh, it's really loud and I've got to shout on it, and you'll see it on the thing. And neither of us thought anything of it. And then he shouted it, and you could hear him in the person performing. And the one comes up and she goes, are you having an episode, didn't she? She says, can you be quiet? He was so embarrassed. It was funny, wasn't it? It was just absolutely hilarious. And then there's a man next door.
There's this man that it was just like, and he was like, I think he was on one of like the stalls, and then we were on the seating area, and he was quite close by, so he was just listening the whole time. And then when he came down the side, he was just like,
So when you keep that in, won't you? You'll definitely keep that in, won't you?
Saying,
you will keep that in.
Keep that clip in. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you won't take that out, will you? So that's the clip. It is so funny. It's just one of those things you couldn't make up.
No, it's good to be good on camera. No, he was honestly absolutely hilarious. And again, really, really nice, genuine. We also interviewed quite a lot of other poets too, and a lot of members of the public as part of, because that'll be part of Beyond Radio, and also Matt Pinesh, who is the runner of the event, wanted me to do it. So I don't know what he's doing with it, but he's doing something. So he'll be getting all that together. But it was a really good weekend, wasn't it?
That's absolutely brilliant. It's honestly so worth going. I mean, I'm not into poetry whatsoever, and I've always thought, well, actually, I'll just tell the truth, I've always thought it's so boring. Oh God, how boring! Because Matilda was asked to do the interviews, weren't you? Everybody really is, whoever she chose, and I thought it'd be so boring. And then we walked in, didn't we? And we saw Red Trip, and I said to Matilda, "You got to film that. He's absolutely brilliant." And then we saw Henry Normal, didn't we? And a few others, and we didn't get a chance to, unfortunately, see Nigel, did we? But they were really good, and it's the atmosphere as well. So you could go for like the weekend, couldn't it? There's everybody, and we've been in like theatre productions, a couple of them, where they've been so bitchy it's untrue, and there was there's no bitchiness, is there? They all get on, don't they? They all sit round and chat, and I just found it and a lot of the poets, a lot of the like seasoned poets says, oh, it's not a bitchy atmosphere at all, everyone just gets on, just gets the job done.
Because I go like to I know like go to work a lot, and I know the circle that sort of do it. So, and obviously I went last year as well, and I know all the people that are involved with the playhouse and stuff. So when you're going round, it's very much that thing where you just like know so many people. Don't you? So like you go into a room like because you know so many. So it's a lot of the poets were saying, in fact, it was like a family, because it was like a gathering of the poets. But the thing is, also, it's only been going for 4 years. So
he's done an amazing job getting it that big.
I mean, last year Pam, didn't he?
Oh, well, Pam.
I mean,
I mean,
really, it's been Pam's anniversary.
But when you said to her Trip, didn't you? She said to her, it says, oh, are you into poetry? And then she goes, well, not really, And she says something. She goes, oh, but I have interviewed Pam. And he went, oh, like this. And then as you're talking a bit later on, this was off camera, he said, she says, oh, yeah, Pam Ayres. Goes, you've interviewed Pam Ayres. And he just listened to the word Pam and not thought anything of it, because she wasn't this year. And he goes, you've spoken to Pam Ayres. Pam. I've been doing poetry all my life, and I've never got to see Pam. And you've come pottering along and interviewed her.
And Claire today as well, she was like, we were talking about Pam, and she hasn't met Pam, but she was like, everybody knows Pam. She was like, my grandmother, her grandmother.
Everybody knows Pam.
And then she was like, she didn't know much about poetry, but if you mention Pam,
that's what I mean. If you're not a poet, or you don't go to anything, or you don't even like poetry or anything like that.
You know Pam.
And, you know Pam.
You know Pam.
Yeah. And then you suddenly think you're a poet.
Yeah, you're like,
actually,
yes,
I do actually know a lot about poetry, because I know Pam Ayres.
And what do you know about Pam? She did that.
Think about the teeth.
Think about the teeth, didn't she? I do know more than that,
But even that,
I mean, by other people.
We interviewed a professional poet, and they turned around and we were walking across Morecambe, we were crossing the road. We were going to interview them, and she said, "So you've interviewed Pam Ayres?" And so she said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Did she tell you about the poem about the teeth?" That's like even the professional poet say that.
One of them was like saying, "Oh, when did you start doing the podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, when I was thinking about it, thinking, oh, actually, it was like to do with Pam." And she's like, "Oh, peak time then."
Yeah. You said you started your podcast high then.
Oh,
If you like to start at the top.
I was like, yeah, Pam. No, Pam was absolutely brilliant.
So Cal says, "I thought you would have been a Pam Ayres fan, Jane." Well, I am a Pam Ayres fan, but I mean, I'm not into poetry, as in I only know like famous people. I wouldn't ordinarily go to watch it, but I would
suppose you can't look
recommend it
into
now.
everything, can you? You know, there's only so much you can look at.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, Abby's on.
Hello, Abby.
Dave's on.
Hello.
Anders is on.
Hello.
Francis is on.
Hello.
Mark's Random Curiosities is on.
Hello.
Abby says he was crazy, meaning Ed. Honestly, you got to watch it. That wasn't the bit, Abby. He's absolutely manic. He's so funny. Dave says I may give it a go next year. Was not available this weekend. I would just recommend it, Dave. I would get yourself a hotel booked and just go and have a cracking 4 days, because I just think it's amazing. And you can, I don't know, because Matilda obviously got in for free because she was volunteering, but I don't think it's that expensive if you get a 4-day ticket to do it. So Carlene says, "Could you wish me a happy birthday for yesterday?" Yes, of course we can.
Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you indeed.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carl. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hey.
Hip hip.
Hey.
Hip hip.
Hey. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carl. Vlad says, what the F is this crap? Well, you're on, aren't you? So you can go now.
Bye-bye.
Oh, God, I put a thing on with that driving thing on a group and the video, and I wish I never had, because the responses, there's so many thick people, isn't there? I didn't realise until I put a video on another group how thick some people are. Probably people like Vlad's view on there.
So commented.
Yes, still stays not that fake. Oh God, we have been in the same
now,
world as
Jeremy
them.
Clarkson.
We always go, well, don't we could cover a lot of Jeremy Clarkson?
Well, it's just like, you know,
He's quite famous, isn't he? And for anybody that doesn't know what he looks like, we have to just do this bit. You know, that's Jeremy Clarkson.
Honestly, it's just because it's his head news.
I wonder if anybody
That
doesn't.
story will do.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if anybody doesn't know Jeremy Clarkson. Put down if you don't know Jeremy Clarkson.
I think he just won an award, did he show?
What, for everybody knowing him?
Probably. I just saw something about it.
I wouldn't have thought he'd win an award. I thought he'd be sort of like, he's like Marmite, isn't he? I thought too many people would hate him.
I think it's for like his show, so.
Or is it an award for the most hated person?
No, farming.
Farming?
Yeah, because the show's about farming.
Oh, right, about but he didn't win an award for farming.
I don't know what he was. He was
Well,
just
it's
winning
sort
an
of like
award.
on
He was just winning an award.
Sort of like on a news show, you tend to sort of
No,
like know
I
the
just
information.
I just said, oh, he won an award. I never said, oh,
You
yeah.
get an award for anything. But I don't think you should give that information without somebody's going to be interested. Look,
Yeah, but I know he's won an award. I just don't know what it
well,
is.
I've won an award.
And?
So you're interested in... I'm your own mother that produced you, and you're interested in a man you've never met that doesn't take cash and that he's won an award, but you're not interested in mine.
Well, I wasn't saying I was interested in his award. I was just saying, oh, he won an award.
Yeah, okay. Have you won an award?
Yes.
Right.
We'll
Carry on. We'll carry on then.
I shall.
Right, anyway. Okay, somebody else knows. Clarkson's Farm.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Won it for the show, Clarkson's Farm. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, thank God Captain K-King's on.
Yeah, but I said that. It's just he's worded it better, but I said that.
Well, that's all I asked. He didn't bring it up though, did he, to be fair?
But
You brought it up.
well, I just was like a passing comment, you know, like... Anyway, back to the story.
Right, okay. Anyway, Jeremy Clarkson, oh, this is very naughty, says a punter attempted to secure a substantial payout over a supposed food intolerance Now, apparently, this is the next thing. So people are going into pubs and restaurants and then saying that they got a food intolerance and trying to claim thousands of pounds in damages this particular time. Clarkson says it needs exposing, so obviously we've done it for him on here, haven't we?
So I'd like something in
Yeah,
return now.
we'd like some. We'd like something in return now, Clarkson, for exposing what you asked us to do. And she said she'd been given a beer instead of cider, and the gluten in it made her so ill she had to cancel her holiday. Now, I'm not I drink red wine, I don't drink beer, and I don't drink lager, but I've been to pubs, and even I can know the difference, and I don't drink them. I don't think I've ever had cider. So, but I know the difference. So if she
Cider's always on the side, isn't it?
beside her, it was beside her. If you drink cider, you've got to know it's beer, because beer's got a head on it, hasn't it?
Foamy stuff.
Yeah, it's got foamy stuff. Cider hasn't got foamy stuff, and cider's like a lot clearer and bubblier, isn't it? Isn't beer flat? Flat, yeah, beer's flat, isn't it? Yeah, and cider's bubbly. So she's obviously a complete liar. But I don't know why he didn't. I didn't know why he doesn't expose her, because he says he's on the CCTV. I'd name and shame her. I think it's fraud, is that?
Yeah, so basically what's happened, she said, you know, about wanting this money because she's saying that she got ill from a holiday, and, you know, suing him. But actually it turns out that he's got on camera not drinking anything. But the thing is, if she has drank this, which obviously she hasn't, but let's say she has, she's drank the full glass, hasn't she? She's had all that time.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say. It's like,
and
I drink red wine. It's like turning round to me and saying, "Oh, I've got an intolerance for rosé,"
also,
and put it in front of me. You just know straight away that it's not red wine.
Surely, like, started making a meal while she's drinking. You don't just
Well,
drink
not
it all in one
necessarily.
go. But the other
I mean,
thing
I've
is,
got a bit of a gluten intolerance. I don't know what it is. It's certain breads I can't eat, and I never know which one it is. But it only comes on a few hours later. So I would eat it and think there was absolutely nothing wrong at the moment in time.
It happened, you know, to you or whatever, you would, yeah, you'd be ill and stuff, but you just wouldn't bother, you know, suing somebody, would you? Just think of, you know, and then.
Well, no, when it's something you've got as well, because you, it's not as though you've got it all the time, haven't you? So you're going to have that problem. So you either take the risk or you just don't eat out.
But like, if it happened to you, you just wouldn't bother suing somebody. You just think,
No.
oh, I messed up there, I shouldn't have drank that, and now, you know, ill from a holiday. But, you know, her, she's like...
Yeah, but it's not true. She's not true.
I know it's not true.
She's not ill for
Well,
holidays,
that's what I'm saying.
is
If
she?
it was true, still it's, you know, not good.
Well, I don't think it's good.
No.
But he says that he's going to think about, I don't know how he'd do it, and I don't know if he could do it.
I don't thought he said it was like a joke or something.
Well, I don't know. He wouldn't if he could, would he? He's trying to...
Well, it'd be better if he didn't buy cash, you'd have more customers then.
Well, yeah, but if he's got people that don't pay, that are happy not to pay with cash, he's got that sort going in, hasn't he? If that was a cash payer, they wouldn't bother about. They wouldn't have a food intolerance.
Well, no, they'd work out which is beer or cider.
Yeah, they'd
wouldn't
be
they?
able to know. So he's sort of brought it on himself a bit, hasn't he, by allowing people that just pay by the phones and nothing else.
Because the thing is, a phone, they don't look, so they're not looking at the side, are they?
No, they've all bothered about the phone, so she's had been looking at her phone and then taking a drink.
But also when she scans it, it's not. She's done it, but then she's like not looking. So what she would run, she's got the beer not looking, not, you know, registering anything, and then I mean I know she's not done it, but let's just say she did, you know.
Well, she'd have had to root about in a bag to get a £20 note, then hand it over, then wait for the change. There's a good chance in that time period she would have looked at it and thought, hang on a minute. That's a beer, not a cider.
Well, she would have probably noticed him, you know.
Well, she'd have been more aware if she
it.
was a cash
The
payer.
thing is, if she's on phone,
Yeah, you're right.
because obviously if she's on a phone, she'll have, like, you know, had to turn it off and stuff and get off the bank stuff.
Yeah.
So she would have noticed him pouring it if it happened. That was.
Yeah. No, it didn't happen, did it?
No.
So
If he did, you know what would happen if, you know, either way. You know.
So that's terrible, though, isn't it? But he says he's going to ban them. I wish he would. You know, ban them. See what happens. But I think it'd absolutely kick off, and they'd just take his license off him and everything, taser him and all sorts. They wouldn't allow that.
We'll have to find out.
But I think it should be. I think we've come now that people don't take responsibility for themselves, do they?
No.
You know, with all these laws and legislations and everything like that, if you've got a food intolerance, you've got to sort of take it for yourself, haven't you? Take responsibility of yourself.
Yeah, like, you know, everybody has something that's, you know, they've got to look after, so they've just got to think all of.
But now it's everybody
I've got to
else's
watch
fault,
out.
isn't it? Like, it's Jeremy's fault, isn't it?
But, you know, you could say, like, so you could say, so it's you know, she's saying it's his fault. fault, which isn't his fault actually, probably one of the servers' fault. I know it not happened, but let's just say it did. Their fault for passing it over. Well, then it's her fault for drinking it, isn't it? You know, both inside the wrong.
But did she tell him she had an intolerance? She didn't tell him she had an intolerance. She's saying she asked for a cider and she got a beer.
And you know who's to say he passed it to somebody else and she took it?
Well, there's not, because she's obviously a compulsive liar, because he says he's got it in CCTV. Cal says, I'm sick of everywhere I go for something to eat. You get asked. Any food intolerance drives me mad. I've not been asked. But we don't really go anywhere. We just don't go anywhere posh. We don't go anywhere that I care.
Anytime I've been posh, they haven't asked me.
We just go to places where you won't be able to eat if you had a food intolerance. And this says, what is the age limit to enter a pub in England? It's no, it's not. You can enter a pub at any age. To drink in a pub, you've got to be 18. Well, some you can't on some. They must be able to get away with it, because there's a pub in Lancaster called the John O'Groats, and that has an age limit of 18. You're not allowed to go in unless you're 18 years old. So they must be able to do that. It mustn't be against the law. But yeah, general pubs that don't have anything like that, you can just go in as a baby. Obviously, you won't be able to get in there yourself as a baby. You need some help. But
Oh,
unless you're a very clever baby. Dave says he gets asked in most pubs. Isn't that strange that people get asked and we don't? Do you think we just look like we haven't got a food intolerance, or do you think we just go to rougher pubs?
I've never been asked.
I've never, ever have I been asked.
They must just think she don't get on.
Oh, we don't go stuff about her. She'll only YouTube it anyway on the MRW News and ruin us. Never. Are you moving on? Or are you just contemplating? Are you jealous? It's not fair. David and Carl have been. Why haven't I been
I'm
asked?
jealous, that's for certain. There'd be another moment in my life wasted saying no.
Well, I think that's what Carl was getting at.
Right. Next thing.
Abby says it's funny, isn't it? Everybody's opinion. Abby don't mind being asked. Carl says, is there a pub at John O'Groats called the Lancaster? I don't know, Carl.
I'm sure I will have been asked.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but you just like, I mean, to me, I just.
No, I haven't.
Curse
I know, I will remember that. I haven't been asked.
It's just, I will have been asked. I've got to.
I've been asked what I'd like to eat.
I've been asked if I'm vegetarian.
I've never been asked if I'm a vegetarian. Why would you be asked that? Here we go. Settle down. Go make yourself a brew.
Well, I've been asked quite a few times on different occasions. But I remember.
No, you haven't walked into an establishment. That's people that have asked that you're with, say, in a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never walked into an establishment and they've said, as you've sat down for a meal and got the menu, you've never said, are you a vegetarian?
Every conversation I've had, I really can't.
Well, I would remember that, and it's never happened to me. I just say, there's the menu.
Well, I think I was listing off. I remember one time they were like they had this section, food, and I was saying, which ones do you want? And I was like naming like which ones I'll have, and I didn't name any of the meat. And they're like, "Oh, you're vegetarian?" I'm like, no, I just don't want the meat.
Do you know what really annoys me? When you see on Facebook and somebody will be opening a pub or taking over a pub or taking over a restaurant or opening one up, and they'll go, "Hello, all you local people." Where? Yeah. No, I don't mind them doing that. I don't mind anybody promoting the business. And they'll put, "We are opening a pizza place or a pub or anywhere in there." And people say, "Oh, good luck," or "I'll have to see that." And then you always get the one within about the first 5 comments. "Do you do gluten-free? Do you do vegan?" They're never going to go. They've just got to put that down so that in case that person turns around and says, "Oh, no, we don't do that." I'd list it all. I'd go back and even put it out what I wasn't even going to think of doing. But there's always one person within the first 5 comments you'll see it. "Do you do vegan?" So that they can, "Do you do gluten?" Whatever it is. Because, and then they do it every time, and that riles me. So there you go.
Right, next story.
William's on.
Hello. Hello indeed.
What's happened now?
Oh, should we want to do that story?
Oh, Simon's painted his house.
Right, so Simon... Now...
Well, we don't even know if it's his.
Simon has painted his house inside the English flag.
Simon says.
So this is Simon.
Bless
I can
him.
do it. I can do it. I can do it.
All
I
right,
can do it.
boss.
I can do it.
Okay,
I
boss.
can do it. I give you Simon.
We've got into power around here. You're allowed to fly your flag, so I've started flying my flags again. Somebody ripped it down because they said it was racist. So I painted the house. You can't rip that one though. They can throw paint at it, they could deface it, they can break the windows. I'll just repair it. I'll paint it again. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I mean, that's what this flag means. But you have.
So,
The question is,
would you like to
Is
move
it
next to
rented?
Simon?
is it rented or not? Is the
Can
question.
you imagine?
Now, as you can see in this photo, he has
Oh, this is so funny, bless him.
as you can see, there's an outline of the Union Jack, but he hasn't got that far yet. But
Bless him, he's obviously started and thought, right, I'm putting a Union Jack
He's
on the
took
front of
his-
my house. And then he's worked out that his house isn't the Union Jack shape when all the windows are, and he's got to go around the doors and he's thought, no, just
I think he
say
can manage it. I think he can manage
why
it.
is he
I
drawing
think
it like
he'll-
that then?
Yeah, but just
Oh, he's just been so eager to get the press round, he hasn't finished.
He's just like to continue. Well, the thing is, if he's done that bit, so it took him 6 hours to do this. So if he's done, 6 hours of that, and then the next day they've caught on to it and they've gone, and interviewed him, and
Yeah, because there's not, you're not going to, that's not going to go on social media, is there? There's going to be somebody that just cannot possibly walk past that and then not put it on Facebook.
But I think it'll look good when it's like a lot more better because of this moment it's just like a cross.
So what would anybody
Once they
think
put
if
the
that was
Union
your
Jack
neighbour?
on.
If that was your neighbour, would you be happy that if that was the house next door?
But,
I don't think you'd sell your house.
What?
I don't think you'd sell your house.
I don't see the
Nothing. It's like I can't remember where it was, but somewhere where I was working, the neighbour had painted the house, their house pink, and the person next door could not sell their house.
Why?
I don't. Well,
I
it's
don't
just
see the
things
problem
like
with
that. People, they probably, that was a lot of years ago when I was doing that houses. People are so desperate for houses now, and they don't come on the market as much like first time buyer houses. They probably would now. But 20 odd years ago when I was doing houses, they couldn't sell it, and they were fuming with the neighbour because they painted their house pink. So it will knock value off the house. I mean, not so much nowadays.
I just don't
People are
see why
desperate.
though, because
I hope it's his house. What do you imagine his landlord coming
I
round?
just don't see the problem with painting it pink though. I mean, you see houses that are pink, and I just think oh,
Yeah,
it's
but
nice.
that's you, isn't it? So like when you go to sell a house, when you
Shame
do,
mine's got wonderful stone on it.
when
otherwise
you're
it
selling a
would be
house or you're doing a house, I used to do this all the time. You might want to go and put your own stamp on it, which is fair enough if it's your home. But if you're selling a house to make a profit, you paint. That's why you get so much magnolia. You paint everything magnolia inside because so people are walking and think, yeah, I don't like this, but I can put my mark on it. If you went in a room which was like one was green, one was pink, one was red, you've got a certain amount of people who are walking there. So, oh God, I can't stand this, and they don't think the further on to do it.
think, I can just get a paintbrush, it'll take me a day and I'm done.
Yeah.
When
I bought a house once that didn't have any, it was still on gas lamp, and my flatmate, her boyfriend was a builder, and he walked in, even been a builder, a really good builder, and he says, "Are you absolutely mental getting this?" And that was a builder seeing it. Do you know what I mean? So not everybody sees the next bit on. So if you've got a pink house next to you, people don't. Well, it's a bit more with a pink house as well. It's not even your house, is it? So what could they do next? They could paint it any colour. Anyway,
what I would do is I'd just wait for middle of the night and just go paint it.
they go and wait for the next night, and it's their house, so they can paint it through the day. It gets thicker and thicker, this wallpaper, right?
That's what I would do anyway. Yeah, but actually, no, come to think of it, all you have to do is paint it.
I should get Simon to paint Billy's house.
Look, so all you have to do is paint it a few times, because when the person comes around to look at the house, they look next door and think, oh, it's white, move on with life. And then once they've bought the house, then they've got the problem with the pink neighbour.
I suppose anyway, when you buy a house anyway, you could always get somebody moving in that's going to paint the house pink next door, couldn't you?
It's just as you've got tape. I mean, to me, I don't see the problem.
Yes, but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. But you're not the person that goes and buys every house, are you?
I might paint my house pink, I don't know. I could do. I might paint. I mean, there's this one here. I could do this one.
Oh, somebody's put about races. I haven't read all the comments yet, but this is what he said before I read the comments. He said, I lived in a house. Oh, so he did this, sorry, because his flag was ripped down by somebody. And he said, I've lived in a house since 5 years old. He said, they can't rip this one down, meaning the flag. Oh, sorry, I missed that bit out. I'm sorry. They ripped the flag down.
No.
They can't knock the house down. Yeah. I'd be worried if they're ripping the flag down. And he says, I'm getting a bit of a bad reputation on social media because people think I'm racist. And then there's a comment here about racism. I'm just going back up. So William, it's on. Dave says, how do you know if someone is vegan? Answer, they will tell you often. Crossborder says, I hope you are good. We are, and hope you are. William says, Blackpool Firework Championships was cancelled last night due to thunderstorms. I didn't even know there was a Blackpool Firework Championship. Is that a joke? I don't know. I don't get it. Abby says she'd love it laughing, so I think she's got it. Carl says, I bet someone will get a rocket for that. Abby says, the flag is not racist, for goodness sake. Don't be stupid. MDR says, I'm from Indonesia. Abby says, I'd love a pink house. Carl says, I've had a DBA test done for my birthday, waiting for the results. I might not be as English as I think. Abby says Magnolia and then vomiting. I like Magnolia. I could paint my whole house.
I've been painting Magnolia lately, so I've been painting the house Magnolia.
And Anders says, my house was pink, but it was grey when I bought it. Now it's yellow, and that is the most common colour according to the paint dealer. And Abby doesn't like yellow either. Michael's on.
Hello.
And Carl says, in Tobermory, they're all colours. We drove through somewhere, didn't we, on the way to Wales, and they're all different colours. Yeah.
No way. That's what I mean. Like, and the thing is, if it cottons on, you could make the area. Can you imagine if you had a village where they all painted a house different
Well, I
colours?
think that's what they've done in like places like Wales.
It would.
Haven't they?
It would make the area, which would then, bring money to the area, and everybody.
So
would
there
be
an
like,
area in Wales as well. It wasn't the one that we drove through, and it's just like a terraced house, and they're all different colours, and it's by like a beach. I was reading about it, but I haven't got.
Sounds like what rough.
No, that's it. I mean, there isn't loads of houses round. There's just this one drive up with this beach in front of it with a row of terraced houses. It looked absolutely spectacular because they were complaining that tourists were coming. But I think because they've been complaining so much about it, it's done the opposite effect because they didn't know about it until they were complaining about it.
So then we got more tourists.
Notting Hill, don't they have a row of coloured houses? I think they do. Just carry on chatting. Abby says, sorry, Jane, but Magnolia is there. William says they have firework championships every year. Well, I didn't know that. That's new.
The thing is, imagine if you painted your indoors white, how bright it would be. It's why you got to paint.
I don't like white. It's totally different.
Magnolia. But what I've been doing, I've been mixing white and Magnolia together just to lighten it up a little bit, and it's turned out
We didn't
well.
do that. We just didn't have enough Magnolia and we had loads of white.
Turned out well. But it actually, at one point, it was quite difficult because of I had to get lighting right on the roof and the thing.
Yeah, this is
I
it.
I wanted the roof to be similar, but just a little bit different, so it was quite different.
They're sick of people coming to the house.
Was this like?
No, this isn't. No, Lancaster Road. The main colourful house rows in Notting Hill, London are on Lancaster Road and Elgin Crescent, which feature a mix of vibrant and pastel Victorian and Georgian townhouses. And they had a thing about it because they're sick of people coming to take photographs. That's not a very good photo, but that's it.
I just got images. Who's have to like see loads of photos I haven't got the idea. I mean, like, it looks good to me.
I suppose that's when everybody's done it, though.
I mean, you can see, like, there's a white one there, so they might have, wanting to try and make, there. There's a white one there, so they might have been wanting to try and think, right, I'm changing this, I'm going white.
It's nice when you see terraced houses. Where was that one that we went to when we went to, I think it was when we went to interview Quinton Wilson, and they'd all got the same colour the whole way down the road. They were like Victorian houses with the, is it called mullion-like windows? And they were all the same colour apart from one in the middle that was black.
I mean, I think, yeah, there is that white one there, but I think the white one does need to be there, come to think of it, because it would be nice to have that.
Well, they're all different colours, so it doesn't matter. But when you've got a whole row of white houses, I mean, there were stone-built houses, but the windows and the doors were all white. And then somebody right in the middle had obviously hated all the neighbours and painted theirs black, hadn't they? I can't remember where
Would it
we
be funny
stopped
though if
at.
you had like?
And it was funny. You
But-
could know. Well, we noticed it
I
straight
don't know
away,
if it's-
didn't we?
I don't know if it's in America or not, but there's a house where it's like attached, and I don't think it's attached anyway. And they're like big houses, and one of them's bright pink and one of them's bright black, and they're both next to each other.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be funny if you had loads of money. I'm gonna, honestly,
She's
since
honestly
this
since the poetry festival.
I've just rhymed like mad.
That's the only thing. If you go to the poetry festival, you'll never talk the same again. Is that too bright?
No, I think it's fine. I would get loads of. I get a row of houses, paint them all white, or at least buy a house on the road that's all white, and then just paint the whole house completely black, like every single bit of it black, not miss a single bit, and then just think how annoying it'd be, or something like bright pink, or maybe like a green. Or
That's a nicer colour, isn't it?
you know what I think? I do actually think there's not many colours in this world. I think there should
There's
be more.
look. God, how many colours do you want?
There's only different shades.
If you
of
can't
colours.
see all the colours, you do know that, don't you? Not you particularly, not just you, but people can't see all the colours they are. We haven't got the ability with our eyesight.
Well, there's somebody I was with, and we were on this minibus, and somebody they were saying, I don't know if it was true or not, but it's my friend, so I was denying it. But she was saying something like she has this. I don't know if it was true or not, just because I know her, so I know sometimes she cannot be. But she was saying about the fact of that, she had like a eye thing where it meant she couldn't see certain colours.
Colourblind.
No, I don't know what it was called, but something like that. I didn't know what it was, so I didn't have an opinion on it, so I didn't really understand it. But anyway, the person in front of me, or to the side, whatever, they then later on said to her, so what's your favourite colour then? And they were obviously trying to catch her out, because they were questioning her before. So I said, don't answer that. And you're like, oh, because she was going to answer. I was like, don't answer. And you're like, why? And I said, well, people don't ask them a question unless they've got, ulterior motive. But anyway, it was obvious that he was going to ask. You might have been said the colour, and then you were going to say, oh, well, that's the colour you're not supposed to see, so you're clearly, in the wrong. So I was like, but anyway.
I bet it says too much white is too bright and clinical. Yeah, I don't like white at all. And also, there's a difference between magnolia and white. White picks up every mark, doesn't it? Whereas magnolia, you just don't seem to see it the same. So no, I don't like white. It's totally different. Andy says it makes it look like a hospital. Ian says, is the place in Wales with the coloured houses fronts Port Merion? No, because we've been to Port Merion, and I just Google it now and I can't find it in time, but it's just a row of houses, and they've got a bay in front of them, and just one road goes up to it in the front, and then it's a dead end. And they were complaining that tourists had found out about it. It's supposed to be like, one of the most idyllic places in the country. I can't remember where it was. Dave says, why not paint some white and others black to look like a piano? And William says, going to see Dave Meyer's exhibition at Dock Museum next Saturday at Barrow in Furness. So that should be good. We couldn't go to the bike thing, could we? Because you were filming the Armed Forces. Armed Forces asked you to film, and they both came on the same day. But we went the year before, and it was just manic, wasn't it? There were so many bikes, wasn't there? We filmed them leaving at the M6 I think it's junction 36 anyway, up that way, service station past Lancaster, and we filmed them leaving, and we were filming for 25 minutes, weren't we? Solid, just bike after bike leaving. It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Well, it was indeed. Now, moving on to our debate. The National Highway Safety Administration have said that it actually could be more dangerous driving slowly than it could be fast. Now, we've talked about this in the past, and I think obviously it's dangerous driving extremely fast. Obviously, that is the truth. But it's extremely dangerous, I think, driving really slowly. I think you have to stick to, not fully obviously, I think you have to stick to the conditions of the road. So say if it was snowing, obviously, just don't think, oh well, it's a 60, so you need
to be a progressive driver, so that's why you're always looking out the whole time.
Yeah,
so you can, so you go, like you say, to the road, but so you're looking like for when the lights change. So you see so many people waiting at a traffic light, don't they? And it goes green and they go,
now what do I need to do? I need to move the gears.
Gone green, love.
Then I need to move the pedal.
But if you're ready, because you've got your amber that tells you.
Person's crossing the road. And
That's because he's gone back to red again now, you stupid person.
then the person behind is getting extremely annoyed.
So
which
they
then
beep.
causes problems.
They beep and then they go, what are they beeping? What's they beeping for, love?
Somebody's beeping. Did you notice?
Must be something wrong with the car. We better get out.
That's a bit rude,
So-
isn't it? Right, where was I? Gear stick. Oh, there's somebody else has crossed the road again. 20 hours later, everybody else is fuming. There's been a crash.
Better put your lights on, love. It's gone dark. And that's what really annoys me as well. You sat at the traffic lights, and traffic lights are really annoying anyway. And then there'll be ones that, you know, like there's 4 lanes coming in and they'll give you about 30 seconds to get a few cars out and then they don't go. You're thinking you could have had 3 or 4 cars out by now. And that's what the amber light's for. Get ready. And on green, you should be going like a rally driver, but they don't.
And also, lights, I think, I mean, this is a bit off topic, but like lights, when they put them on too early when it's not dark, I'm like, you know, you should wait for it to be pitch black and then put lights on.
At least cause 2 or 3 accidents before you put your lights on.
Far too
Like have
early.
a competition with everybody else to who can leave it to the last minute.
And also,
But no, you have
also
to put
lights
yours
inside
on.
the morning as well. I think, what, you know, it's morning, and sun's coming
Or as
up.
soon as there's one little raindrop, you suddenly get blasted, don't you, by these LED lights.
Yeah, not LED lights anyway, just them in general. But the thing is,
But I don't understand these people, right? As soon as it's slightly dark, like about, you know, 2:15 in the afternoon on the winter, putting the lights on, why don't they just run into stationary cars?
What?
Well, they can see stationary cars that don't have any lights on, can't they? You don't just run into them. Yeah, they seem to think that it's more safe, don't they? Putting these bright LED lights on, which you can't see a damn thing when you're going past, at like 3:15 in the afternoon on a winter's day. They seem to think that's safer. But it's not, is it? Because you can't focus. But they're happy with their LED lights that they're blinding everybody else, aren't they? They're even worse if they've got, that's another story, isn't it, lights? We've done that once though, didn't we? And everybody agreed that they're too bright now.
but so say I spoil this because I had some videos now. I haven't actually properly looked for. I had watched them, but I don't know which order they are, so just bear with me. But I found some videos, and there isn't too many videos online of bad drivers.
There isn't many on slow drivers.
No, but
That's ours. Ours is on asking about slow drivers.
Oh, yeah, but I mean by like actual slow drivers, you know. But anyway, I found a few. So these are the only examples I've got. Obviously we all know in ourselves slow drivers, but
So all of you that haven't never seen a slow driver in your life, she's going to show you one.
there you go.
Here's a slow driver, just in case nobody knew what one looked like.
So as you can see,
They're driving slowly.
so this car's pulled out, and then now this car is having to, because it's driving so slowly, it's having to adapt. So it's making, it could have just continued following behind, but because it's driving so slowly, I mean, it's
slow.
practically stopping. You know, and this is what today.
Oh, that's her.
What am I doing? Go away. As you can see, it's like affecting everybody. And then look at this one. This is especially for wagon drivers. I mean, any drivers, but obviously wagon driver, when you've got a load, it's a lot more difficult and dangerous. Because can you imagine if something happened to the wagon and what would happen? So this vehicle's come out, you can see it's like from a wagon angle, and now it's having to indicate out and having to stop and look at it.
Oh God, that's an annoying person.
I know.
And we can't even do the subject of middle lane hoggers because that will be another news night. Oh, she's got another one for you.
I just like to. I mean, these are the only examples I can get. Alright, so he's getting to it. I think it's a bit off. So this is not this van, so don't blame the van. The van just happens to be behind the slow driver. So look at all the disruption it's causing from that person there. All the disruption it's causing.
Anyway,
that's only big roads, obviously. We're not even got to every other road.
Anyway, so the National Highway Safety Administration. So this is fact now. So you see all these people, don't you, about saying about stuff, but once that it's written down by a government body, they just tend to think that's it. So we can use this for our benefit now. You know, like when people say that, you know, things like, I don't know, things that used to say like, oh, when there was COVID, you've got to stand 2 meters apart. Everyone thought it was absolutely mental until a government body said it. And then some people thought that it was right, didn't they? So we can use this to our advantage now. So it's right because the National Highway Safety Administration says it is. And they say driving significantly below the speed can increase the likelihood of accidents. Slow drivers disrupt traffic flow, create congestion, cause other drivers to make risky decisions, like sudden lane changes or overtaking manoeuvres. Driving too slowly causes rear-end collisions and aggressive driving from others. It forces faster drivers to slow down abruptly. When one driver moves much slower than the rest of the traffic, the disruption they cause can be just as deadly as speeding. So it's fact, because it says it by the National Highway Safety Administration.
But because of obviously they can make, you know, piles up, you know, with cars or traffic jams and everything, and obviously all causes stress. And you know, people can say, oh well, you know, just don't get stressed. You're gonna get stressed. It's fact.
You can't stop human emotions.
No.
So you can, and it's obvious that some people get stressed more than others. So you should be sorting out the cause. So if you've got somebody that's driving at 20 miles an hour, you've been at work all day and you just want to get home and you're absolutely starving, you're going to want to get home, aren't you? So then somebody's driving at 20 miles an hour and people turn around and say, oh, well, you should just calm down. Or allow 10 minutes more for your journey. A lot of
Waste
people...
a bit more of your life.
Yeah,
you know?
a lot of people can't allow 10 more minutes for the journey. They could have, you know, a job, they could have kids to pick up, they could have all sorts. And it's a bit of that sticking plaster, isn't it? It's everybody else's fault rather than...
Change for us, you know.
Just drive faster. You're the problem.
But you're not saying to drive fast, you know, like extremely fast.
No, I hate fast drivers as well.
Exactly. I hate that. It's just to drive normally.
Progressively.
Yeah, just move with the traffic. If everybody just drives the same, everybody's moving at the same rhythm.
Yeah. I don't like fast drivers. It really annoys me when somebody comes round the corner, flying round the corner, you know, like sort of sideways and I think, you'd have got that slightly wrong, you'd have hit me. So I hate fast drivers as well. But it's progressive drivers. So, like, and you see it with traffic light, you know, more roadwork traffic lights, and they'll sit there and then there's only a certain amount of time, isn't there, that they're on for, and what one person may go, two person may go, and then they'll be there and they'll leave a massive gap, and you think, well, hang on a minute, all these people behind you aren't going to get through, are they? So it's not progressive driving. They should catch up that part and you should keep like 2 car spaces behind the car in front, and that's progressive, so you keep going. But a lot of people drive so slowly that you see it and they catch up. So you'll be behind somebody saying doing 50, quite happy, doing 50 and a 60, quite happy speed. And they'll catch up somebody doing 30 and you think, right, they'll just go and overtake, and they don't. And then they sort of like succumb to it and then they pull back. So you got 2 doing 30. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, you know, overtaking really is, a silly thing. In fact, you've got to go on the other side of a road, you know.
Oh, they put you in danger, because every time you go on the other side of the road, it's dangerous for you.
If everybody moves together, nobody would really have to, you know, overtake, because everybody will be moving together. But they put you in danger, and then when something happens to you, you know, they won't be getting the blame, but actually, you know, they put you in danger.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is really not on slow drivers, this is going a little bit off topic, but you get it a lot now, especially with people with powerful cars that think that they should dictate the speed of the road, and you go to overtake them and they speed up. So they've been driving like 40 miles an hour the whole time, and think, right, and you manage to get on a straight and they speed up. So then that person coming around the corner that you've worked it out, you could quite happily get in and out, they're flashing the lights at you thinking that it's you, but it's not actually, it's the person that speeded up, put you in that really dangerous situation.
That tends to be the slow drivers doing slow, does it, you know? So it's just, you know, everybody needs to learn.
Carl says, I'm on the road a lot and very slow drivers are dangerous. They are. And I think you're a wagon driver, aren't you? Wagon. Well, she is a wagon. She thinks she's a wagon, Vera. She's I think she's 5 tons, isn't she? She's a wagon, yeah. She's not a car, is she?
No.
She's slow and you need to use your gears on her.
And a van would be insulting.
Oh, and slow drivers. And I bet you can't get in top gear most of the time if you drive a wagon, can you, Carl?
Obviously, classics are different to all of this.
Oh, if it's a classic car, you're allowed to do anything you like.
You can go any speed whatsoever, okay? Obviously, this is different.
Yeah,
Classics
that's
are inside
classic.
their own area.
Yeah.
And also within the classic, I'm not saying this in generally, but usually they do also tend to be smaller. So you do tend to easily see over the side of them.
Well, classic drivers are also respectful. They'll move over. I mean, we came back last night, and there was a car doing 28 miles an hour in a 60, and it was all from Lancaster to Bentham Road, wasn't it, where you turn off, and it just went on and on and on. I thought, this isn't fair. So we'd worked all day, hadn't we? It was late at night. We just wanted to get back and get our tea, and it was doing 28. Every time it came to a straight, was there something coming the other way and we couldn't overtake. This is no word of a lie. They drove all the way back at 28 miles an hour. Then they got under the railway bridge at Low Bentham, and you go under the railway bridge. Before that, there's a sharp left-hand turn. They stopped, didn't they?
They just randomly
you
stopped.
tell them what they did. It was
Oh, dang it.
unbelievable.
I did have it on camera
And you've deleted the thing. I
Yeah.
wanted it, but her memory suddenly went full, and she deleted all the stuff on it. Which
If it's not
I never
liked, I
said.
don't know.
Yeah. They just stopped on a 90-degree bend in the dark, and they expected us to.
They waved the hands
go.
out.
They
More like,
waved
what
the
do you
hands up
think,
and
on a
saying what you think.
corner where you have no idea what's going behind
Basically
it.
saying you've been behind us all this way, so now we're going
But
to
the
let
other
you
thing
pass.
you missed out.
So
The other thing you missed out, there was a really big straight where, you know, it's a usual overtake area because everybody can see. They went to middle of the road.
Oh, they did, yeah.
We went to overtake
they
and
did.
we could physically not do it because they were right inside middle of the road. You couldn't,
They
even
straddled the
inside
white line.
Maureen, which obviously is very thin,
Tiny.
we could not get past them. We're right middle of the road.
Yeah, they straddled the only long overtaking part. They straddled that. There was nothing coming on that bit, and they straddled the whole of the road, so you couldn't get past. So then, when we were coming back today, there was a transit van, wasn't there? And it was clear that whoever driving it couldn't drive a vehicle of that size. But I didn't mind too much because they pulled over, didn't they, and indicated and let us past. And I think you should do that. And I would, and that's going back to the classics. When we drive, I mean, I never get, because we'll do 50 in our classics. But if somebody was behind me, I would pull over. Well, I do pull over. I pull over in the wagon. If I'm towing, I mean, even in the wagon, I can do 50, 60.
I usually like
But towing a trailer, if I get a load of people behind me, I just pull over.
Yeah, because you
To let
see
them
like these things like where there's, you know, a vehicle and they're driving, you've got such a long line behind them, and you know, we can get past or a tractor, whatever form of vehicle.
There's loads of tractor drivers do that.
And it's just like, if you just let everybody pass like now and again, everybody could just get on.
Especially when there's such now with people for and against it with the tax and everything. I followed tractor drivers and I just think, just let people pass. And they'll go the whole bit from Bentham to Wunded to Bentham to Caton, and is it about 11 miles, and they didn't let anybody past. And then people just get riled about it. So, and then it tars them all with the same brush. You should just pull over, and it is against the law, actually, that bit is. Abby says old ladies driving 30 to 60. I think it's not even old ladies now, though, is it? It's so many people. Abby said LED lights are why I don't drive in the dark. They're just horrible. They're just so dangerous. Anders says slow drivers make others take dangerous overtakes. Definitely. Ian says Abby, that might be preferable to old ladies driving at 60 and 30. Michael says fast drivers are dangerous. Yeah, they are. Both are. I think they're the same, aren't they? The thing about fast drivers is, I don't agree with it, but the bit that is different is, if you get a fast driver like coming up and tailgating you, as soon as it's safe, I just let them pass. I don't try and, because some people say touch your brakes, get a back security camera, do this, do that, and I just think just let them pass. Because then they've gone. Then they're not going to do it on a risk. They're not going to risk it on somewhere, are they? So as soon as it's safe, I just let them pass.
And I probably get bored as well because I think,
yeah,
like, oh, nobody's bothered about I'm driving really fast.
So two things
two
things about fast drivers. Yes, I don't agree with it, but at least they go then and gone, and they're off, aren't they? So they're not hounding somebody. They've gone and they're out of the situation. So they're not getting loads of cars together. They overtake and they're gone. And the other thing is, and I've rallied, so I know this. If you're driving fast, you are always concentrating.
Probably more safe than a slow driver.
Exactly. You are always on the ball when you're driving fast. You drive slowly and get behind somebody, and I've done it, and anybody will say this, and I'm an advanced driver, your mind can't stick on the job. So they make you become a danger, because you cannot go driving at 30 miles an hour, especially in the dark, or if it's raining, you can't, your mind goes off. It's fact. So that is the one thing about fast drivers. Majority of fast drivers will always be thinking.
So now what we have to do is we have to put the speed up, because really we'll concentrate more.
Well, you do concentrate if you're driving quick. If you're driving progressively, that's the idea to do it. You concentrate the whole time. When I'm driving, if that's an open road to Lancaster and I can go at the speed of the road and not drive fast, I will concentrate the whole time I'm going there. Then you get held up by a driver doing 28 miles an hour. And then you lose concentration. It's human nature.
It's like, you know, when you're like driving, it's like when you're constantly like that, aren't you, behind them? It's
constantly having to concentrate, constantly going up the gears. I mean, when we were coming back, I got a 1 litre Nissan Micra. I couldn't get it into fifth. That's on a 60-mile-an-hour road because somebody was driving so slowly I couldn't get a 1 litre micro into fifth gear. It's obvious that they're driving too slowly. But there should be the same fines, and there should be a point system for people who drive slowly as people who drive quickly.
Mm.
Because it is dangerous. It's proven it's dangerous, isn't it? Because the National Highway said so. And this is a particular government, as soon as it benefits us, we're going with what they say. I'm trying to get to where we were. Abby says middle lane hoggers. I think that's another story, though. I don't think we can cover that. Anna says there should be requirements for eye examinations for older drivers, but this is the thing as well with the older drivers. It's a lot of younger drivers as well, isn't it? You know, it's not just older drivers, is it? Cal says on the radio they'll say stagger your journey. How do you know what time someone is setting off down the road? A team at Tempest says hello from Essex. Ian says, don't get me going on mini roundabouts. I drive for a living and see so many clueless people just sat waiting because they have no clue what is their right of way. We've had ours painted, haven't we, up here? We've got a red cross on our roundabouts now. Abby says, I can't remember left or right, so a mini roundabout is a disaster for me. Well, I don't think you'd be too keen on Abby, Ian, because you just saying about it.
I remember actually, when I was with Stephen Hall, we were doing that dance together. Because we went through it before, and I taught him the dance and stuff. And I was like, we did a bit of practicing, and then we did like a bit of the filming, and we went back to just touching over it again, running through it together. And I was like, right, so I can't really remember what the move was, but I was like, right, so you go left, and so I was like, you go right, and you go left, and you go right. And he was like, oh, and he was like following it. It was like, oh, you're still wrong. Anyway, then I eventually worked out I was saying my right was my left, and my left was my right. So I was like, oh, you're in the right, actually. Sorry about that. Maybe not. Actually, because I was like, hey, normally you do it like this, she's left and you're right. And I was like, oh my God, I've just said the wrong, completely
but
wrong
that
thing.
mini roundabout at Holton is, I don't know why it is so bad for it. It's on quite a steep hill. I don't know if that makes any difference. But they just don't they just drive straight over it, don't they? They never go around it. Very rarely do I see somebody actually use the roundabout.
Because if it has been painted, you can actually see the tyre marks of the
exactly. That's what I mean.
Getting it wrong.
They don't seem to go around it, and I don't know if it's because it's on a hill or how it's set out, but it just seems to that particular roundabout. They just launch themselves across it. But 3 or 4 miles down the road in Caton, there's another one, and they go around that, and that's on a flat bit, not on a hill. So I don't know why. Has anybody else had their has anybody else had their roundabouts painted?
Well, that one hasn't even been painted. It hasn't even been painted by the government. That one never has any paint on it. So yeah, they go around it.
Because we've had ours painted.
Right.
Cal says driving standards have got worse. They've definitely got worse, without a doubt. And I wonder if it's something to do with all these contraptions on cars as well, because you've got everything going on for you. Whereas when we were younger, when we had a car, I mean, you were lucky if you had a heater and a radio, and you just had a gear stick and steering wheel and accelerator, brake, and that was about it, handbrake, and you didn't have all these fancy gadgets doing stuff.
I also
wonder
think
if it's because it's doing stuff for you, but also because they're all fiddling about with these screens.
And I also think, I don't think you're not saying about the fact of the generation stuff, and everything, because obviously I know you didn't have anything. But like, I think when people go to get the driving test and they've never driven before, they shouldn't just take them straight out onto the road. They should have a separate area where they do it, because of like this person online, and I saw it because I was looking at this, and I already thought it anyway, but she was taking this person out, and she took the corner too fast, and there was literally a mother with a pram, and the teacher just turned the wheel in time. But I was like, that should not be their first time out. They should have to have some form of, around a car park, just to start getting them out first.
Yeah, but I think if you go for the driving instructor, I think they take you in a car park first of all.
Nobody's told me that.
Well, I wouldn't take you down the road, first of all. I'd take you in a car
I can
park.
drive.
I don't. Yeah, you think you can drive. You're like these people that I follow back on a night that think they can drive
It's
and
just
they
I
just
haven't had
can't.
I haven't had the freedom yet.
Yes, well, you
go
won't have the
out.
freedom. You're going in a car park, first of all.
I'm not.
Abby says you should just ban all mini roundabouts. Alan's on.
No,
Oh,
hang on a
Turbo
minute,
Tim.
Abby,
Just hang
hang
on a minute. Say hello to
Can I
Alan.
just finish my sentence?
No, Turbo.
Can
No,
we-
no,
I
it's
can't
on.
answer it right now.
Turbo Tim World's on. Just
Hello.
done my first after 30 years of driving speed aware course. It was not to tell you off. It was really interesting. Oh, so you got caught speeding, and then you've done a speed aware course.
It's really interesting. So I'm going to go
How
back
can that
out.
be interesting?
So now I'm going to go back out and speed because I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I want to do another course.
Well, I know
So
one
you've been
way.
there, imagine there.
I know one way you get biscuits.
Yeah.
Not saying I've been on here or anything. But,
Imagine
yeah,
that.
I might have been there.
Oh,
But,
yeah,
you know,
yes, officer, you were speeding. I know. Put me together. I just want one of those courses again.
If I was officer, I'd say, oh, no, actually, it's a good thing to play because if it depends on what officer you get, because you do that and then they go, oh, well, you know, and they go, oh, well, actually, it won't be a punishment then, so I won't give you one.
Yeah, I'll put you in jail.
Dang it!
Oh, I love the jail. Will you lock me up and handcuff me? Right, okay, you're a pervert,
I
aren't
didn't
you?
murder that person. What? I just really wanted to go. But anyway, back to Abby. Back to Abby.
No, back to one. You do Abby then. Go on. Okay, go on then.
Roundabouts are better than traffic lights. Right.
What was so all that? What
I
was
know, I
that?
told you I could have said it by then.
Roundabouts are better than traffic lights.
Because sometimes you
Oh
get
yeah,
places.
I think she's on about mini ones though.
Still though, Abby, you could have traffic
Yeah,
lights.
she says ban mini roundabouts. You
Yeah, but
don't get
still.
traffic lights on mini roundabouts.
Oh, they'll put them anywhere.
I don't think you do.
You do then.
Anyway, hello, Alan. Sorry, she's not going to say hello to Alan. Say hello to Alan.
No, I didn't say hello.
All
You
right.
won't have known, would you? Because of mini roundabout there, you don't know whether they were planning on putting traffic lights there. But what I'm saying is, you've got to be careful with banning roundabouts. You ban roundabouts, you're getting traffic lights. So I would say mini roundabouts.
Yeah, I think she's right, Abby. I'm sorry, but yeah. You get traffic lights, which is even worse.
And the thing is about that one in Holton, you sort of have to have it. But you think about it, if it was a straight road, if you indicated to go, you'd have to like cross over the road. I mean, I think it has to have that roundabout there.
Yeah.
Now the roundabout where next to the co-op
Yeah.
in a town,
Yeah. Caton.
probably,
Yeah.
that's unnecessary
Oh, that's totally unnecessary.
because of the road to the left is a car park. Nobody uses it
Yeah.
apart from people who live there.
Mm.
And then the road to the
Roads to the left of me.
Roads to the
Roads
right.
Here I am stuck in the middle of this roundabout with you.
I know where it goes, but
Yeah.
it's like you
Well
don't
done, you. Well done. She knows where it goes.
you don't use it as much as the road that goes straight because that
Yeah.
road leads to the same place on the road you've come on. Well, you use the main road. You don't use that road. So that's unnecessary. It could just be a turnout.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they call it. It does not need to be a roundabout. Does that road?
No, it doesn't.
No.
So Abby, Cal says Abby's funny. She does come out with some great lines, I must admit. She says, how many times do you think I went the wrong way? Oh gosh. Abby says,
Have you read that?
yes, how many times do you think I went the wrong way on my driving test? How many times? So how many times did Abby go the wrong way on her driving test? Well, she's obviously done it more than once because she's putting it out here. So I'd say 3 times.
Like 7.
7. How many times did Abby go wrong on a driving test? I'm saying 3.
I could drive off right now, you know.
And Matilda's saying 7. Cal says 100% Jane, how many cars do you see without their lights on? They don't even think about lights. Abby says, I always remember my lights. Oh no, she doesn't. She says, I can see better in the dark. And she says, you're right, Matilda, big roundabouts are fine, but mini ones is a no. Turbo's Tim Wells says, you can actually do the courses online without doing the speeding. You just need a username and a password when someone that's done one. All right. I don't. Mark says, wait, the new Hyundai 6 Iconic drives itself. Oh my God.
Sounds great.
Oh God, it's just getting horrible, isn't it? Tim's World says, driver retaining it's called. Oh, Abby says 4 times. Almost went on the motorway.
I think the thing is about all these things that's, you know, taking over, you know, all these different things, like whether it's AI or like driving cars, they seem to only be taking over the things that people actually find enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. That's
really
welcome to the government.
They're just not taking over
they do.
anything that people think, oh, you know, actually, that's, you know, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
They're just taking over things you actually like.
Yeah.
You know, and they just never seem to pick. It's so many. things like art and stuff, they're taking over, and you're driving and things like that. They're not actually taking over anything that's useful.
Right, so back to this. It's so how do people think the vote was, the poll was, sorry, that slow drivers are as dangerous as fast drivers, and 76% of you thought yes. So for anybody that's maths that bad, that's 24% that thought no. So a lot of people think yes, they are just as dangerous, and I think they're just as dangerous. And then I've got to go back to this.
Now,
I'm trying to get onto this.
a
Sorry.
moped.
What?
Did it say moped?
Broomhead.
Broomhead. Anyways.
Right, so I've got it now. Just 1 minute. Right, so comments. So this is the comments on it. This is Dave. He says, I think it's down to lack of driving skills and sometimes confidence that makes some drive too slow. Yes, some do speed too, and both are an issue. People should drive within the speed limit, but should not be unduly slow either, as it does cause frustration, which leads to some making stupid errors of judgments, causing accidents. Anders says, where I live, a grocery chain has a 5% discount for everyone over 65. This results in the streets being flooded with elderly people on Tuesdays who neither see nor hear the other cars. Oh dear. Abby says, I just remembered that one of the schools I used to go to had a 4-mile-an-hour speed limit in the car park. Now that's really taking the pee. 4 miles an hour? I don't think you could even get running on that, could you?
Not even on scale.
This is mine. Well, it's quite a long one, so, but it's basically said what I've said. People should drive progressively, but it's what I've said, so I'm not going to read all that lot out. Abby says 20 zones for absolutely no reason are my favourite. Michelle says, I think a lot of these people that drive at 30 to 60 are just not confident drivers, so I do feel bad for them, as if they did go to the speed limit, I think they will be more likely to crash. But at the same time, like you say, it's dangerous. Then for the people who are overtaking dangerous places, in that it's so hard. But if you're not a confident driver, I don't believe you should be on the road, because you're a danger to everybody.
Shouldn't have
It's
passed
not
the test.
yeah, but they do. You see people that have passed the test, and you think, what are the driving instructors like that have passed that?
That's what I mean.
Well, not
like,
instructors, is it? It's examiners, because they are absolutely just so incompetent. I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be allowed pass your test until you can keep up with the rest of the traffic progressively.
Well, somebody who I know, who I knew them the whole time they're taking the test, and they were like, oh, well, you know, I set off inside the wrong gear, and I did this wrong, I did that wrong, and I did this wrong, and I was like, and you pass your test? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like,
I know, it's
you know,
a big worry, isn't it?
And also they're like, you know, I don't feel very confident when I'm driving. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how have you got you?
I know, I've seen them, and you think, how on earth did they got a test? Gary says, driving too slowly can be just as dangerous. You can get pulled over by police and fined. I read a driver got a ticket for driving 50 and a 65. I can't believe somebody got a ticket for 50 and a 65. I mean, it's good that they're doing slows, but we're talking about like 30, aren't we? Kerry says, well, I don't drive because I'm too thick. So you people that go in your cars can discuss this matter. And Ginger says, hello, after seeing a motorbiker die in front of me outside my house last week, keep your speed down. But you can't just say, you can't take everything from one person dying, can you? I mean, also, I saw a motorcyclist many years ago. I think I was in my 20s, and somebody pulled out and he went right over the bonnet and got killed. But I can't then judge every single accident or everything on that.
You never know,
because that actually wasn't speed.
No,
that was just somebody pulling out.
So I mean, you never know the situation. I mean, I'm not saying this because obviously I have no idea what the situation is, but I'm saying this: you don't know if he was on drugs, you don't know whether he was drunk, you don't know whether somebody did, you know, crash into him. You have no idea what situation.
No, so you cannot.
You could have been
everything. You can't say, oh, people have to slow down because, you know, as unfortunate it is that the motorcyclist being killed. People have. Look at our friend that got killed not so long ago. They were in the back of a taxi, and they were in the middle of town. A taxi driver, the taxi driver isn't getting done, so they're obviously doing nothing wrong. Taxi drivers obviously need to keep the licenses, so one of the people aren't going to drive fast. So you can presume
that the slower they go, the more money they get.
You can presume they were driving under 30 miles an hour, or if maybe even parked up, and a car's run into them and killed somebody in the back of the taxi. So that's nothing to do with speed.
No.
Whatsoever. It could be somebody that's running that's on drink, drugs, just gone, just taking it, just not seeing somebody coming. I mean, how many people are killed doing that? That had nothing to do with speed. You could do it the other way around. You were driving so slowly, your brain wasn't on it, so you didn't see that
Cars
person because
fault,
you weren't
anything.
concentrating. Yeah. So you can't do that off just one person getting
No.
killed. It's a range of things, isn't it? You've got to do a general thing, haven't you? Should go on the road if you don't. Dabby says, should you be on the road if you don't know your left and right? Cal says 10 miles per hour on a building site. Andy says, I agree with Matilda. Self-driving cars sound boring. If I don't want to drive myself, I can take a taxi. Michael says, Carl, I'm over 17. I don't drive that slow, but have to in London roads. Oh, I'd hate to drive through London, Michael. I don't know how you do it. Dave says, nothing. Oh, sorry, I've done that one. Carl says, bet it's slow in London, Michael. Abby says, sometimes I indicate left and I think she's joking. She says, sometimes I indicate left and turn right. Is that okay?
Yes, for you, Abby.
Yeah, you're probably all right, Abby. I don't think anybody would tell you any different, love, if you did it in front of you. And Dave says that may be a bit confusing and make you unpopular. Oh, she says, no, I'm not joking. Imagine us driving behind Abby. Be going, look at what she's doing.
I won't notice too far. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. As long as if she's driving at good speed. Don't have,
Do
LED
you
lights.
drive at a good speed though, Abby?
Not have LED lights and you're fine.
Callum says, hiya guys, and Carl says, let's hope Abby's joking. I don't think she is, Carl. I really don't think she is. There you go, laugh. So anyway, so that was really interesting. So what do we decided at the end of it with the poll? People think that it's as dangerous, and I think on here everyone thinks it's as dangerous. So it's as dangerous, isn't it? So at least we've sorted that out. That it's as dangerous to drive slowly as it is. Got to find there. As it is quickly. Right. So this is Broom Head Reservoir. And if you're over in that area, you might want to go have a look at this. It's near Sheffield. And this stone arch is...
It's rained a lot.
No, it's not enough to fill a reservoir.
It's raining now. It's been raining like loads.
It's a reservoir.
Yeah, but it's been raining. That's what fills it.
It'll still be there. Anyway, this is only a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and that's the time it's been raining.
You're not going to get about 20 foot of water in 2 days, even if it rained constantly.
Yeah, but if you look at that bridge, that's about 1 foot.
That's a hell of a lot of water, Matilda.
Yeah, but not 20 foot, is it?
Yeah, but it's still a lot of
It's not
water.
20 foot, though. It's about 2, which would be...
Anyway, if you're a nice person and not
If you're a
stroppy
scuba diver...
and argumentative, and you're over near Sheffield, you might like to visit Broomhead Reservoir.
When there's another drought.
Very quickly take your torches now, because there is a stone arch that's been uncovered, and it's been there. It was the last time it was seen was when it was filled in the 1920s. So the last time that arch was seen was over 100 years ago, and it spanned the Uden Beck, and it's they flooded it, and they flooded the mill. That was where the bridge was put in to get to the mill, and the whole place, actually. They flooded it to make a reservoir, as they do. It's quite shocking, really, isn't it? But I think it'll still be there as long as you're quick. So, there you go. Thank you very much for that. Okay.
Well, I think that's everything.
We're doing well tonight. It's been a good night, hasn't it? Loads of people joining in. I'll just check I haven't got anything else, because I forgot something last week. And then I remembered it. No, that's that. No, everything.
I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thank you very much for watching this.
Just do the
Don't forget to check out the interviews we've posted and interviews that will be coming as well. And don't forget to check out our mother's account.
Abby says, yes, I drive at the speed limit. Oh, well done, you.
Yes. And don't forget to...
And just remember her headlights and she'll be fine. Michael says, most roads in London are about 20 or 30 only. God, it must be awful. Callum says, Matilda, nice name. It's a lovely name. Carl says, must be a nightmare, Michael. I agree, Carl. I drove in London once and I won't want to do it again. Oh, Birmingham.
Birmingham.
That was awful, wasn't it? They closed the motorway and then we had to go 2
I
motorway.
didn't think that was too bad.
It was
I
4.
really
It was
enjoyed
4
it.
o'clock in
I
the morning.
really enjoyed
you,
it.
you must be the only person in the world that enjoyed driving through Birmingham. Even people that live in Birmingham don't enjoy driving through Birmingham.
Well, bit of a concept to the story. The road, the M6, whatever road it was, I don't know what road it was, got closed down, so everybody went off, and we were inside a little pack, weren't we? Because there was these cars that came off, and we all followed each other, and it was really, really nice, a real community.
Apart from when some people started branching off and just follow the wagon.
Oh,
the wagon
DP.
driver. Yeah, because generally when you leave what's that?
Go check out my account.
When you leave the motorway, when they've just suddenly diverted you off in the middle of the night when you just want to get home, you know that you follow like about 10 wagons. They're all going back on the motorway, aren't they? And they drive really quickly at night. So you had to keep up with them. And not you don't know where they're going, but they know where they're going, because the workmen sort of put a diversion sign and get bored after about 3, don't they? But this particular time,
extremely good direction
the wagons kept
skills.
turning off, didn't they? Because he'll be going to the motorway off. So
Yeah, because mother was like saying, oh, so remember, if you ever get off the motorway, always follow a wagon, because they'll be going
yeah,
back.
it's like, talking like I was a trucker.
And every single
Like I
wagon.
had a 48-ton rig.
When we inside a wagon, we inside Vera, weren't
We were inside Vera, so then
Yeah.
you immediately think, you're like a HGV.
Problem is, obviously, everybody else might be
We
following
do
you.
all the trucking moves, parking the truck
but
stop,
The thing is, they started all going off, and we're like, what's going on? Anyway,
play convoy.
I think there was about 6 of us at the end, and they were cars. And
Yeah.
we were all together going the same way. But, it was...
But that's what I said before, all the wagons. Generally, when you leave a motorway on a diversion and you're following a group of wagons, they are all going to the same place, especially at night.
The DP
and going back
wagon
on, but
went
they
about
kept
half,
bobbing off.
The DP wagon went about half of the way. It went, half of the trip. But obviously,
Yeah, it wasn't
did
going
follow
back
it.
on the
No,
motorway.
obviously, if you followed it, you'd be stuck. But I'm lucky enough I was all right, because I managed it. But again, I didn't hate it. I thought it was all right. It was all pretty clear. There wasn't any traffic.
Yeah, but you haven't
I
been
think
driving for about 7
I
hours,
think it was
have
nicer
you?
than being on the motorway. It woke you up, you had to concentrate. So I don't mind
Exactly,
it.
precisely, back to the point.
Mhm.
If you've got to concentrate, you're awake and you're concentrating, aren't you? If you're driving, because we had to follow the wagons even though they weren't going where we thought they were, you have to be even concentrating more because you don't know where you're going and you're alert and you're on it. So that proves my point exactly.
Anyway, I didn't mind it.
Debbie says, don't worry, Jane, I will never drive to Bentham. I can't wait till the last time we have to, Abby. Just not worth coming up. Carl says, I'm on nights in Sheffield all week, so wish me luck. Oh, Carl, you can go look at the bridge because it's in Sheffield. Carl's in Sheffield. So go look at the bridge, Carl.
But it might be, rained.
But it won't have rained, Carl. It'll still be there. You go have a look
I
at
tell
that
you
bridge,
what,
love.
Carl, you go and see who's right.
Yeah, and tell us. But I'd love to see that bridge. It's quite a way to Sheffield, isn't it? And it'll obviously still be there. Dave says, another good session. Thank you. Yes, it was. Ian says, we were in Bentham last week. Oh, bless you. Carl says, thank you, Michael. Near Bramall Lane, Sheffield United. Callum says, Jane Walden, what's your channel? Somebody's asked for a channel. I'm going to get a subscriber. Just wait. I'm getting you it. Just keep chatting, Matilda. Because I've got a friend.
She'll get you the link, but there it is for now.
Well, I'm getting the link. I'll make it all easy for you.
I'm doing both.
Oh, I can feel a subscriber. Right, let me just get you the link.
And don't forget about my music account.
And I talk about anything, mainly about like domestic violence and people that take the mickey with child sexual abuse and
All the serious
all the
subjects.
serious stuff. And Cash, I'd speak about that. I don't do a lot because I'm always doing stuff for her, but when I do, I get it on. Right, I'm trying to think now. Get back to you. Right, here's my link. Did you show my channel?
Yep.
Right, back on. Wait for it. Here we go. Right, this is my link, so please, this is my link. So please subscribe like Abby has done. There. Abby's put North Yorkshire Police knobs. Yeah, oh God, they just didn't. It hasn't even started, Abby, how bad it was. I won't do it on Matilda's channel, but it's going to all come out on there, and I've got all the evidence. They can't say, oh, I'm lying or I've made it up, because I've made sure that I've got all the emails, all the everything. I've got it all. Cal says, I've got a clean rig. Turbo Tim's World says, motorway I live in Devon is 52 miles away. Well, you've got to go 52 miles to get to a motorway. Ours is about, is it 14? That's random curiosities. The dark nights are drawing in now. They certainly are. It's gone, I think it was the coldest it's been this year last night, wasn't it? You know, from after the summer, obviously, not through the, like, January and February. It had gone chilly, hadn't it?
It's 13 degrees now.
Last night.
Tonight, it's 13 really, then it goes to 12, and then it sticks at 12, and now let's see the rest of the, oh, thank goodness.
It's fine.
The temperature goes up to 17. I need a bit of warm weather. I'm sick of this
It's
cold.
gone so quickly, hasn't it? Summer, you always think, all right, I'm going to start planting,
I mean, pretty
and I'm
much
going to
all
start
this
getting
week
on. And
is
then it's just
rain.
like nights coming in.
Tomorrow's 100% rain. Tuesday, 85% rain. Wednesday's 85% rain. Thursday's 55% rain. And 80,
Mohammed
70, 55, 35 and 50.
Mohammed says, what's the free? No subscription for you. We don't want you to subscribe. And oh God, they just put no subscription for you. Do you live in the car? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Jesus, what sort of life have they got? He's put on about 20 comments. Matt's random curiosity says the link isn't clickable. Hang on, it should be.
If you search up Jane Walden spelled with a Y,
It should
you
be
should be able to
clickable.
find it. If it's not.
It's turned blue, so it should be clickable. Oh, it isn't clickable. Why is it not clickable? Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go back on. I'll go back on and I will put a video on from it. And that should be clickable. So hang on. Hang on 1 minute. So this will put.
I'll tell you what was a bit weird happened at the Poetry Festival. So obviously I'm there doing interviews, right? And I've got a mic with me. And, you can tell when somebody's doing interviews because they've always, there's an atmosphere, They know who everybody is, So when somebody's doing interviews, you know who they are. So I had this guy, he just turned around to me and I was waiting for an interview to do with this person. So obviously, I was focusing on them. And basically the guy turned around and said, "Are you doing some interviews, are you?" So I was like, I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh yeah?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was joking." I was like, "What do you mean you were joking?" And he was like, "Well, I didn't think you were doing interviews." And I was like, "Well, you just said I was doing interviews." And he was like, "Well, I was only joking." I was like, "Well, I didn't say it, but I was thinking, well, how's that a joke?" But I've got a mic in my hand.
No, because a lot of people turn around to Matilda, and when she says about how old she is, and says, "Oh, I thought you're about 12." She thinks she looks a lot younger than what she is, but she's already very young anyway for doing the interviews. So he did it as a joke because she was with me and clearly thought I, being older, was the person doing the interview, but she'd obviously like a child taken the mic off me. So she walks past and he goes, "Doing interviews, are you?" So she goes, "Yeah." And he goes, like this. And she goes, "Why are you a poet?" Because we had to ask everybody, "Are you a poet? Are you a member of the public?" before we interviewed them.
Before we spoke to them.
And he goes,
Joking.
Are you doing an interview? "You are then." So she says, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, it was a joke." So he really embarrassed himself and made a complete knob of himself.
I was concentrating on this person I was going to interview, and they were signing some books. I was just like, you had my eye on them, and I was like, what are you going on about? I don't know what's going on here, And he was like that, so I was like, okay.
Right, so the link obviously works for some because Abby says it works for me. It works for me, but if you press on it and press your right thing and click on it, it should ask you to copy and paste it.
If you go into your search bar and search up Jane
But
Walden,
if you just put Jane
with a
Walden
Y,
in, if you put it, because I've done it sometimes when I'm typing quickly and miss the Y out, and it won't come up. There's not many Jane Waldens with a Y on there, so I don't see how you wouldn't get it. And it's a profile picture of me and Matilda, and I think I've got the long bar one is a sunset, I think, if I remember rightly. But I think there's only about 3 of us on there, so you'll get it. Abby says YouTube is getting more crap by the day. Are you on Instagram, Abby? They've changed it all. It's so difficult now.
Now I'm going to do a separate video on this because I am fuming with Duolingo. It is honestly.
Which is nothing to do with Instagram.
Well, Instagram's only changed on your iPad now. Instagram, I like Instagram, and Instagram's quite good with.
Oh, they've changed it. It's awful.
Only for you though, not for me, so it's fine. But Instagram, they have really good security details for follow people doing social media. So I find it a good setup. I do find sometimes you can be too much on it because it's just so good. But like I find Instagram, I like Instagram. I think Instagram.
I like YouTube best.
Oh no, obviously I like YouTube, but I mean I'm saying I do like Instagram, and also I think Instagram has a better setup for the like security details and stuff than YouTube does. But I mean, I'm not saying YouTube's bad, but I'm just saying I think they both, But Instagram has different ways you can do it, so you can do it for different people. So, but anyway, Duolingo, they've done something, and it's just my day score. Give me a second, I'll just check
I'll
what
just
it
read
is.
these off. Abby says it doesn't use Instagram. It's just changed. It used to be really clear and easy to use. And now it's all small. If you're older, it's all right when you're young and your eyesight's perfect like hers. But when it's really small characters now, you can hardly see it. Mark says he's on an iPhone, maybe it only works on a PC. You'll find it easily, Mark. And Callum says search separately. Yeah, please do. You'll find it easily.
So my score is 1,608 days. So I would say I'm Duolingo trained. I've seen it go through the years. I've seen it change. But this change is just... So what the change... I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to do a separate video on it. But basically, a narrowed down thing. They used to have hearts. So you'd have 5 hearts a day. And if you use them, you would either pay for some, meaning there's with gems, so not money. I mean, you can if you wanted to, but obviously, but pay with gems, or you watch an ad. And they did have the thing where you practice for hearts. Now I really like that. It was really useful. They did get rid of that. It still does work on my iPad for some reason. I can do that, but they got rid of that. But I thought, right, I'm accepting that. I can
deal with that.
I'm going to accept it. I don't like it, but I'm going to accept it because you've still got the watching ad heart thing. Now they've changed it to this weird system where I'll show you a picture of it because I screenshotted it. So I'm getting my information together for this video. Let me just get the picture. They have this thing right here where it's got like a battery, and you have 25%. And every time you answer a question, whether it's right or it's wrong, it goes down.
That's disgusting.
So say if I got the question right, it would go down 24. Say if I got it wrong, it would go down to 24.
Though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, I watch an ad. Every single time I go on Duolingo, I have to watch an ad. So think of the money I'm giving them there, okay? And often, so... And then, the thing is, sometimes... So then... They will give you an odd, extra free to give you points back up again while you doing your Duolingo. But the thing is, if I do a lesson, right, and I want to do another lesson, if I've only got like 11% left, if I get all the questions right, but I'm still losing my percentage of every question I get right, I can't finish that lesson.
Yeah, but that's just to get you to pay. They've just got sick of it,
listen,
isn't it?
Listen, yeah, but I pay by watching the ads. Think about money they're going to be getting from
Yeah, but
those
they
ads.
want you to pay a subscription. Obviously, they've got that big that they don't need to now anyway.
Yeah, but they've already had loads of people losing because I never knew about this. I only knew about it because I looked at this. Apparently, a lot of people were mad with them because they did something to do with AI. I wasn't aware of that. But anyway, the thing is, like, you've got to realise though, any big company can go down from one thing, and this is ridiculous because if I get all my questions right, I still can't finish my lesson. And that means, because I will do my Italian and you'll sometimes do your French, or I'll do Italian and French, or I'll do maths or whatever. I can only do one lesson a day. And if I wanted to earn something, if I watch a video, I only get 3%, which is only 3 questions. So that's 3 questions asking right. As if the heart thing, if you went down to 1 heart, you just have to think, well, I can't get one wrong. And if you get it wrong, fair enough, you've got it wrong. And, you can watch it to get another heart. But that is just outrageous.
Oh, God, it's certainly wound you up, hasn't it?
I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Who do they think they are?
I don't know. It's just somebody that provides it. You could always start your own.
Oh, I've not got that intelligence. It's just absolutely ridiculous. What this new system in it is just that it's honestly ridiculous.
Well, it's because they've got too big, haven't they? So now they know they can get money.
Well, no, they haven't. Any company can fall.
Well, yes, they certainly can. You're certainly right with that. Was it Ratner that said? Well, it was Ratner, wasn't it? Years ago, before all the internet and everything, and I think he said. About his jewellery, a Marks and Spencer sandwich lasts longer, and that was it overnight. No, I'll just check that before I go.
Well, there's a few ones. I was talking to Claire today, and she was saying about the fact is, we were talking about the fact of Coca-Cola changing their recipe, and everybody went outraged and had to change it back again. And I saw one company, I can't remember what company it was, but it was definitely a drinks brand, and they did this competition where they had like, I mean, I don't know if it's a good example though, really, because it's not like something they've said. It's sort of like a glitch inside. I might just forget about that one because I don't think it's a very good example. Anyway, still, it can happen with just one thing, like one advert or anything. It can take a whole company down. So really, oh, is that one of those strawberry sandwiches?
Yeah, because I've put Marks and Spencer's sandwich.
Oh, you know, thingamajig.
Marks and
They did like
Spencer's
like a sprinkle sandwich. I thought that looked disgusting.
I don't know if it come up with many years ago. Yeah, there you go. The phrase Ratner's Jewellers, Marks and Spencer's lasts longer refers to an infamous 1991 speech by Gerald Ratner, former CEO of the budget jewellery chain Ratner's. He made a joke that some of his company's earrings were cheaper than a prawn sandwich from Marks and Spencer's, but probably wouldn't last as long, a gaffe that caused his company's value to plummet, and I've just done
Marks and Spencer's to go up.
Plummet, and led him losing his fortune and leaving the company. He stated that a pair of his earrings costing under £1 were cheaper than a shrimp sandwich from Marks and Spencer's, but probably wouldn't last as long. He also called one of his own decanter sets total crap. The remark caused outrage and the company's share price tanked the next day. The resulting financial difficulties forced the company into restructuring, and Ratner was eventually forced out of the business. So that's one sentence. And that was a pound jewellery, which probably was right about, wasn't it? You know, if it was only £1. But, you know, that's it, one sentence. And his whole life, his whole business was, I remember that happening. That's how old I am. I remember that happening well.
But I mean, I'm just outrageous with what Duolingo's doing. I think it's ridiculous. They should have had.
I'm outraged about Ratner's sandwich 30 years on. Right, so I'll read the rest and then it's done. Do you live in the car? Yes, we do. Abby says you could have Kit Matilda. Michael says, Matilda, did you get your Maryland biscuits from Sainsbury's? And Dave says he remembers the Ratner issue. Did you get your right? We're finishing. Thank you very much, everybody. But answer the last question, Michael. Did you get your Maryland biscuits?
No, because I said inside the video I didn't.
Which video?
The video I said straight away after this I didn't.
Didn't you get some from? Where did you get some from?
I didn't get any.
You have never got them?
No, because I said inside the video I watched in and I didn't have any, so I never got any.
Oh, yeah, but have you got some since, haven't you?
I could have done. I can't remember. I could have done.
I think you did do. Yeah, she got some. She got some. I can't remember when, but yeah, I got some more. Good night, Carl. Good night, Callum. Right. Good night, all.
Thank you.
Thanks for a great night, and thanks for all joining in.
Yes, thank you.
Good night, Dante.
And I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we shall see you all next week.
And look out for the interviews with some wonderful poets, and obviously the actual legend. He was great, wasn't he, today?
Yes, Nigel Planer. All the interviews are absolutely wonderful, and they're all funny, and they all take you on a very much of a journey.
Good night, Mark's Random Curiosities.
Yes.
Good night, Ian. Good night, Abby. We do it every Saturday or Sunday, the news. And if you've got anything that you want to talk about, just send it in. And as long as it's not like, we don't do like massive political stuff because there's just so much going on. That was one of the things, I know we're going, but there's some other things to talk about, was the Poetry Festival was absolutely brilliant. There were some absolutely brilliant acts. I won't fault it whatsoever. Get yourself down there. But they did some open mics and people were just using it, weren't they? Just to do political stuff, weren't they? And it was just like the poem had just been written for the sake of it, wasn't it? It was, and I think with things like that, it shouldn't be political, should it? But yeah, it spoilt it a little bit on bits like that. But yeah, so we don't do political stuff, but we do chat about everything else. Cal says, Abby, take care on those roundabouts. And Abby says, thank you, Cal. And make sure you get your left from your right as well, Abby.
Yeah, just go left and right, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
put a thing on your steering wheel. Put an L on the right on your steering wheel.
That would really would work. That would work, wouldn't it?
Well, there was that man, that comedian, and he used to have it on his boots. He used to have an L and a right on his boots. I can't remember his name. That's a long time as well ago. And she says, and my headlights. So, see you later.
Yes, thank you all for watching, and we shall see you all next week. Bye.